I'm Sal.
I'm Beth.
We are the brewery lovers here to tell you about a unique brewery in North Carolina. It's in a town called Wilson. Casita means little house, right?
Yep.
Casita
Which
Brewery.
is in the logo, except it's tilted.
Casita Brewery is one of the best in the state of North Carolina. Over 4 on Untappd.
Yes.
There's a reason for that. The owners, Ryan and Mahalia Witter Merrithew, these people know beer. Ryan, you have the history, right? Ryan was at Duck Rabbit,
Hill Farmstead.
Hill Farmstead. Then he studied in Denmark, and they know their beer. And the beers are really, every beer, this is one of these places, every beer is right down the middle. And then some. So it's and also a really nice brewery. It's right in the middle of town. Pizza place next door in case you're hungry.
Yep.
You know, typical.
Easy parking.
Easy to park. Typical post-industrial red brick. This vaulted wood ceiling was cool. Absolutely loved their label art, their can art. They made butterflies out of old beer labels, which I thought was brilliant.
And they give away, like, labels that they're not using. So, like, I got this one when
Nice.
we were there.
Speaking of beer.
Ready?
You got beer?
Well, so when we went there, I guess you'll be showing the board soon. They had just done some kind of event, and they had glasses that we got to keep.
Some kind of fundraiser.
Here's the can.
This is Basketball is Life. They have a whole series. Blank is life. Gridiron is life. Basketball is life. Disc golf is life. And it's just one of their things. We don't know the whole story behind it.
They have very cute labels.
We absolutely love the can labels. They're really kind of quirky
Okay, so I'm
and
setting
funky.
that one aside. Sal insisted I use the glass that we did
Let me show it.
get there that
you.
time.
So this was a one-off. It was very unusual. They had a bunch of these left over from the fundraiser. And they had this crazy deal on... This became like your flight class.
Yeah, because this is like 2 ounces.
It's very tiny.
So rather than ordering a flight, I think we got like an ounce of everything they had.
Pretty much.
So I don't like stemware. So you get that one.
Okay, thank you. What's she trying to tell me? I've had too much beer?
No, I just don't like stemware. It's too fragile.
Well, what's interesting about this beer, I first read the board and I thought it was hazy IPA, but it's not. It's hazy pale ale. It's not an India pale ale. Don't see that every day. So it's a little bit of haze. You can see that. And it's got a really big hop bouquet.
Yeah, it's really delicious.
And it's really delicious. Yeah, it's really nice. We like it a lot. We're not going to go through the whole board because we literally had every single beer they had.
And everyone was good.
And they were all
Even
amazing.
the ones that we didn't expect to like.
Yeah.
I mean, cheers. See, be careful with it because it's delicate.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay. Love the can art. Here's some examples. Beer Geek Slumber Party. Also, there's a lot of kind of local friends and family depicted on the can art, which I kind of liked as well. There Will Be Blood. Orange IPA.
Blood orange.
But you can see on the left there, Ryan and Witt's Wicked Ale. That was a homebrew competition, and these were the winners. But Mango Tangelo, that is brilliant. And it's a Ninja Turtle with, instead of the shell,
Instead of
he's got
Michelangelo.
mangoes on his back.
It's all just very cute.
Great job with the label art. Here's Ryan. Ryan did not want to talk to us.
Nope. He was busy working.
He was
He walked
busy.
through a couple times,
Yeah.
but...
And he was cleaning a fermenter, I think. But we did get a glimpse of him. And
There's our pretty little glass.
really nice tasting room.
Yeah, it's
Staff was
spacious.
excellent.
There's outdoor seating. There's a great big seating area out on the side.
Outside as well, yeah. They have disc golf holes. And just really, it's a superb brewery, and this, be honest, by itself would be a reason to go to Wilson. However, when you go to Wilson, you get this huge bonus because the Casita Brewery is right across the street from the Vollis Simpson Whirligig Park. And Vollis Simpson was a farm mechanic his whole career. He retired in the 80s, and he started building these crazy, ginormous whirligigs. And he built them for, 30-some years?
Yep, he started towards when he was about to retire in his mid-60s, and he lived to be in his 90s. And he was working on these projects till almost the end. And he used things like road signs, HVAC fans, bicycle parts, ceiling fans, mirrors, stovepipes,
Anything.
aluminum sheeting. There's one with a textile roller mill, like pans. It's all kinds of just junk.
But these are...
But he turns them into art, folk art.
Not just art, but moving art. And this one gives you an idea of scale. This thing is just huge. You can't appreciate how big it is until you see how big it is compared to Beth. Of course, most things look big compared to Beth. But this thing really is big.
It's really, really big.
And lots of stages and all this different stuff. There's a bicycle up there. And they're quirky, they're fun, they're colorful. They move really well when the wind's blowing. And there's the bicycle.
Yeah, so go there on a windy day.
We'll tell you the whole story. We went to Wilson. We went to Casita. We went to looking forward to seeing the Whirligigs. No wind.
Well, we saw them, but they just weren't so... They were not kinetic.
Yeah.
I mean, these are kinetic sculptures. They're supposed to be moving, but it was a wind-free day, so...
So almost a year later, we were back in the area, and we caught a windy day, and we went back. So this video was an entire year in the making. Imagine that. And you can really get a feel for them, because we got there on a windy day. But some of them are just ginormous. Now, those
sawyers, those woodcutters, they're as tall as I am.
They're basically life-size. That gives you an idea.
And we heard about this. There was a beer place in Cary, North Carolina called the Beer Cellar.
Beer Cellar, yeah, unfortunately.
They're not there anymore.
Yeah,
but the owner, Andrea, we ordered a beer from here one day. And she said, "Oh, you should go visit there. It's about an hour away from here, but you got to go so you can see the Whirligigs."
Yeah.
So I put in my notes, Casita, Whirligigs, didn't know what it meant,
right.
But I'm so glad we did it.
Yeah,
it's right off 95 near Rocky Mount.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're traveling north-south on 95, it is well worth the pull-off.
Totally. The park is nice, too. It's this big green area where there's always kids playing underneath the Whirligigs. And it's kind of a meeting place for the community. Like a green common area. Here's the guitar player. He's on one of the beer labels.
Yeah. The one
is that the one you held up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I did. I got it.
There he is. You can see the bicycle parts in this one. Lots of bicycle wheels. And so what happened is when Mr. Simpson passed away, the community said, "What are we going to do with all these Whirligigs?"
Yeah, all these things were on his property, and his property had started to become a tourist attraction.
Yeah. So they formed a corporation/coalition, not-for-profit, to move these and preserve them. And they have a whole staff of mechanics that work on them, keep them going.
Yeah.
And they've replaced wooden parts with metal, because wood obviously doesn't do well out in the weather. And it's
heavy.
It's also very heavy. But some of these things, this thing, look at it. Those mules are life-size.
And there is a little museum, and you can see originally he made the mules out of wood.
You can see the
original. So they're in the museum. So it's a cool little place.
This thing weighs, I think, 40,000 pounds. So if you go there on a calm day, this thing doesn't move at all. There's just so much mass
just too heavy.
that has to get going. So definitely go on a windy day. But
and look for it elsewhere. When you're heading south on 95, if you get off the very first Welcome Center to North Carolina, there's two small Whirligigs that are by Mr. Simpson.
Yeah, that's right.
His work is in Atlanta and New York City and Baltimore.
And he was named, what did you tell me? He was named the official, or his work was named?
His work is the official folk art
of
North Carolina.
Yeah. So he's kind of he was kind of a state treasure.
Yeah.
And
Never thought of himself as an artist,
nah,
but certainly was.
typical. You find these guys every now and again. You find one of these people that it's just my thing. It's like a hobby. Like, yeah, it's a little bit more than a hobby.
Yeah.
Also, we were there on Veterans Day, which was kind of cool because they had these flags up for each in memory of a fallen veteran.
Yeah, each
right
one
in
had a
front
little tag on it.
Yeah, right in front
It was
of
sweet.
Also, if you want to take your beer out to the park, just tell the beer tender, and
They'll put it in a plastic cup.
Yeah, they put it
You
in
can
plastic,
wander
yeah.
around outside.
yeah, kind of nice.
Really nice.
Great spot, Wilson, North Carolina. Check it out.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out.
Cheers.
Cheers.